Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So in the last class we were discussing on the asynchronous counter. So the another name for this asynchronous counter is ripple counter. So where based on what type of mod we are designing, we need that many flip-flops. So here we have 3 flip-flops. So these 3 are the JK flip-flops we have used. So high inputs has been connected for all the flip-flops, and the clock will be provided only for the first flip-flop. The output of the first stage will be provided as a clock for the next. The output of the second stage will be provided as a clock for the last stage. So like when there are multiple bits, you will be having that many flip-flops. This is a 3-bit. So we have 3 flip-flops. So we have discussed up counter. When it is up counter, the Q output to be connected as a clock here. When it is a down counter, the complementary output of the flip-flops to be connected as a clock. This we have discussed. So down counter, it starts counting from 7 down to 0. And we know the working of all this. Any doubts in these things which we have discussed in the last class?
No.
Yeah. Now we'll just make it up-down counter. So I'll make it up-down counter. Now I need both the things to be done at a time. So how we do make this? Can anybody tell me? So it should work like an up counter. Also it should work like a down counter. Any idea? Okay, fine. See, be careful when you're connecting this to be highlighted, okay? These are the 3 flip-flops. Sorry. The input is the JK only, like all the JK to be connected with the high output, high input. So VCC is connected for all the 3 flip-flops here. The clock will be given only for the first flip-flop. So if it is up counter, what we expect the direct Q to be connected as a clock. So Q0, Q1, Q2. So Q direct output to be connected as a clock here. So if it is down counter, Q bar to be connected as a clock. So we need to choose either of this. So what the thing we can have? We can have an additional circuitry here, just like a 2:1 multiplexer. So either of this will be driving. So what I can do now? So either the first AND gate to be enabled or the second AND gate to be enabled. So I need to have one more control. So whether to make this up counter or to make this down counter. So I'll connect these to the one more enable bit, where that will enable to make it as an up counter or down counter. So I'll just name this as up/down. So whenever this input is high, so it will enable the first AND gate, so it will work like an up counter. Whenever this is low, so it enables the lower AND gate. This is how we can make it. So we'll have AND gates, and the output of the AND gates to be connected to an OR gate. So now we can able to control this as an up counter or down counter based on the input what we provide. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if my up down bit is high, it enables the first AND gate. Let me number this AND gate as 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 will be enabled. So once these two are enabled, whatever the Q0 and Q1 will be flowing as a clock for the next stages. So it will make it as up counter. At the same time, this was 0, right? When this was 1, this was 0. These below AND gates are disabled, so it will activate based on the first stages of the AND gates. When this up down bit is 0, so the first 1 and 2 AND gate will be 0, so like it will be disabled. So because of the inverter, I'll get this high, so the AND gate 3 and 4 will be enabled, so I can get complementary output of the flip-flop as a clock for the next stage. So it will work like a down counter. This is how I can make it up down counter. So any doubts in this asynchronous counter?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Since you have already learned in the lab decade counter. Do you remember how it works? The decade counter? Decade counter. So it is having a 10 discrete states, right? When it is a 10 discrete states, 0 to 9. So the IC which we have used is 7490, and we also know the internal contents of the decade counter. So within that IC we have mod 2 counter and mod 5 counter. So the meaning there is we have two counters connected cascade. So here it is mod 8 counter. So either it can count it upwards or downwards. It is having 8 discrete states. So the number of bits decides how many different states we can have in that flip counter. So you are restricting there based on how many count it has to do it. Then it has to reset at what? Now we never restricted, we use 3 bits and we are making use of all the states which can generate. So we are able to do it for an mod 8 counter. Either it is up counter or it is down counter, decided based on the clock how we are providing. Suppose I want to make it mod 5 counter. How can I do it? So 3 bits are required. Along with this, one more mod 2. So just know only with 1. When I give the clock, the output of this is either 1, the next 0, 1 0 1 0 like that. So one flip-flop can work like a mod 2. So single flip-flop is fine. But now this has to be cascaded with 3 flip-flops in order to make it decade counter. So in order to make it by default with the 3 flip-flops, with the default connections of the things, we can able to make it mod 8. If mod 7, again 3 flip-flops. Mod 6, 3. Mod 5, 3. Mod 4, only 2 is fine because 0 to 3. So 0 to 3, 1 1. 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So 2 flip-flops are fine enough. Then how I can design with mod 5? What can I do to make it mod 5? Can anybody think and tell me how you can make it mod 5? See, mod 4 is simple. So mod 4, if I want to make it, by default connections with the 2 flip-flop, default in the sense, so just do this JK VCC. So the same thing can be connected here, JK VCC, and I want to make it as an up counter. So just the output of this connected as a clock for this. So it works like mod 4. Just tell me mod 3 how you can do it. Let us discuss on mod 3 because only these are the 2 valid states in mod 3. When it becomes 1 0, it has to reset now. So don't think in terms of the 7490 IC. So if it is in terms of 7490 IC, what do we do? When this bit was high, you just connect this to the reset pins of the IC. So reset 1, reset 2, it will be done the reset. That's it. But now with respect to this, how you can make it, you have to think when it has to reset. Got this? So now you cannot give the inputs for the flip-flops as by default with VCC. Now we need to restrict our inputs. Clock is fine. The output of the first stage to be a clock for the second stage, but the input of the flip-flops to be restricted based on how long it should be, when it has to reset the things. Based on that, we can able to design for any given mod. See, the details are not required because it is not there in the syllabus, but the concept is required for you. You should know how many bits are required in order to design mod 5, how many bits are required in order to design mod 8. By default, what is the mod you can design? Okay, if you want to design mod 5, what the changes we require, we need to design with the inputs. So we have to modify our inputs. So based on that, it will reset the flip-flop once it reaches that particular state. That is how you have to design it. You got this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, now this always will be the higher bit. Suppose if I mention this as B and this is A, so this is your B and this is your A. Okay, so these are the outputs, your 0 0 1 0. So this complementary output here is 1 1, right? So this will be connected here as an input for the first stage. So here it will be given with the VCC. So this will be connected here. When this was 0 here, so it is 1. So it will toggle. So we'll get the next state like 0 1 here. So but now when we want to make it 1 0, this will become 1, this will become 0. So when that is the case, it will reset the things. That is how you can design it. Is this clear? At least how to do it. An idea?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you have to decide based on the output, okay, what can be connected in a here so that it can able to work like with the given states. That's it. That is how you have to design your system. See, here I have shown it for mod 3. Similarly, you can design it, think it for mod 5, mod 6, for any of the things. So what you need to do, first you need to write all the states. So, and what are all the valid states, at what particular state it has to reset. Okay, based on that states, so you should know whether the direct input of these outputs can be given there in order to design, or the complementary can be given in order to design it. Like that you can think and do the connections, so it can able to work appropriately. With like this you can able to design for any given mod in the asynchronous counter. So whatever I discussed so far is an asynchronous. So then how we can design it for the synchronous counter? Already we know synchronous counter, all the clocks to be given simultaneously. Suppose if there is a 2 flip-flops, so means 2 bits, the clock to be given simultaneously. Then how we are going to design it for any given mod? So you are going to restrict the inputs itself. So by default with the 2 flip-flops, what is the counter you can design? Default with 2 flip-flops, what counter you can design? Yes? 2 flip-flops, what counter? By default. See, I just requested you all at least respond. Why are you not responding? See, 2 flip-flops, not mod 3. Okay, it can count 0 to 3 means what? It is mod 4. At least few of you are responding. Good. See, when there are 2 flip-flops, it can design 0 to 3. So 0 to 3 means there are 4 states. 4 state in the sense mod 4 we can able to design it. Now one thing is clear, the clock should be directly given to, simultaneously given to all the flip-flops. Then how we can provide the input, what input we are going to provide it. Here also I'll make it with a JK flip-flop. So the first stage I'll connect with the VCC. Second stage, what I do, I'll connect the output of the first stage as an input for the second stage. So this Q0 output, I'll connect it to JK of the next stage. So with this, it can work like by default with mod 4. Check whether it will work or not. So 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So now this is your B, like Q0 Q1. Okay, now JK, here it's for A flip-flop. Okay, here it's for B flip-flop, or Q0 J0 J1, like that also you write it. I think that would be better, J0 J1. Either you write QA QB or you write J0 J1. Okay, now J and K inputs are given as VCC. You know, when JK is 1 1, it is toggle. If the previous content is 0, then the next state will be 1, then it will be 0, like that continuously it works. So I'll just take it with 0 0 condition. Okay, so initially both of these are 0 0. So now the second clock, when I apply, so this is the negative edge triggered, so the down arrow, and I apply the second clock, how it should work now. So this Q0, it was 0, now it is 1, so it is 1 now. So it was 0 before, with the second application of the clock it's become 1. So simultaneously it is working, right? The 0 has been fed as an input here. So the input here was 1, the input here was 0. When I apply the clock, here I get it 1, here I get it, since J and K was 0 0, no change. With the second application of the clock, whatever the output, previous output, retain with the same. The next, this is the 1 now, so now it is 1, here also 1. So here 1 1, the output here is 0. So we get 0 there. Now the input here is 1 1. So with the clock I get toggle, so it was 0, now it is 1. Next, with the next clock, so again it's toggle here, so it was 0, so it was 0, now it's been toggled to 1. Now the content here was 0, so this was the input, 0 was the input. With the clock, so no change. Can you observe these things? Is this clear how
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
working? Yes. So like this we can able to design the synchronous counter. Synchronous counter clock to be simultaneously provided for all stages of the flip-flops. Now we are restricting our input based on the count which we need to design. So by default here with the 2 flip-flop we can able to design mod 4. Suppose if you want to design a different one, then we need to design the J0 K0 input, J1 K1 input cannot be given the same for a different mod, so you have to design it. How to design, we have already discussed. How to design, we know what is the output. Okay, if this is the output, in the next application of the clock, what we are going to get in the next state. So next state output also we know. So when we know the present output and the next output, based on these outputs we can able to design the inputs. That we call it as an excitation table. Output is known, we need to design the inputs. So based on that inputs, whatever we design, use the K-map simplification. So whatever the simplified expression, for that you just use it as an input for the all the stages of the flip-flops which we need to do it. So in that way we can able to design it for any given mode in the synchronous counter. So now by default I want to make it for 3-bit. What is the count? sorry, what's the count it can work if it is a 3-bit?
0 to 7.
Yes, 0 to 7, it is by default mod 8. So for any other mode, again we need to follow the same procedure of designing it. I think it's not been chosen. Fine. What happened? I don't know, it's working like an eraser only. Fine. Yeah. What's such a bigger one? Fine. So now we know the clock to be given simultaneously for all, and the inputs of the first stage will be given with a VCC. So I'll write this as J0 K0, Q0 Q1, sorry, Q0 bar, Q1 Q1 bar, Q2 Q2 bar. So now the inputs to be changed now. How can I change it? So we already know. So this output will be connected as an input for the next stage. So with this it can work like mod 4. Now I want to make it mod 8. Mod 8, how can I do? So output of both the stages to be connected to an AND gate and given as an input for this. So output of both of this. I don't know, it becomes zoom in. So like this we can able to connect the inputs. So now just understand, you know these things how it works, right? 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So now here what we need, the last two contents we know. Okay, only till here 0 0, yeah, 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, till this it was working fine. Now we need to design with the last bit. So based on J and K input, how much we are going to get it in the Q2 and Q2 bar. So this is your output Q0, Q1 and Q2. Now see here, AND gate will be enabled only when both are I. So in these cases 0 0 0 1 1 0, AND gate output was 0. When AND gate output was 0 means J and K 0 0. When it is 0 0, no change. Suppose if we start with 0 0 0, there was no change, it retains with 0 0 0 for all these cases. So in the next application of the clock, by that time the output of the first flip-flop is 1, output of the second flip-flop is also 1. With this 1 1, the output of this AND gate is 1. So 1 1 here, so it will toggle. So in the next clock, the last output will be 1. So what about the outputs here? So depends on the previous, right? So since it was toggling here, so it was 1. So I'll be getting 0 here. So this was 1 here, so toggles here, so it is 0 here. So these two are 1 1, so it toggles here, so 1. So we get 1 0 0. Next again these things will repeat in the first two stages, you know that. So you can just write 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, 1 1. But here again you will never get this condition of 1 1. So there will not be any change. All these stages it will retain with 1 1 1. So we can able to have the count 0 0 0 to 1 1 1. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, once it becomes 1 1 1, so the last content is 1 1 here. So the next clock, these two are 1 1, it will change this to 0. Already this is 1, so it will change to 0. So since this is 1 in the previous, with the application of the high input here, it will change to 0. Again it will reset back to 0 0 0. So that is how this counter will work in case of the synchronous counter. Any doubts in this? Synchronous counter?
No.
Fine. This is working like an up counter. Now I want to design it as a down counter. What can I do now? So similar way as I've learned for an asynchronous, I'll just follow the same technique here. So instead of connecting the Q0 output for the next stage as an input for the JK, I'll connect Q bar output as an input for the JK. Then it will work like a down counter. Again here the Q0 bar and Q1 bar connected to an AND gate, that will be connected for this JK. So it will work like a down counter. So we'll just discuss one case for the down counter. So down counter, it starts with 1 1 1, right? So this is your Q0, Q1, Q2. Now you know the J inputs of the first stage are connected to VCC. So the next it should be 0. Since it was 1, so it should be 0. Next it will be 1. Next it will be 0. This continuously will keep changing, toggling, right? Now Q0 bar is connected as an input for JK now. What is Q0 bar? If Q0 is 1, Q0 bar is 0. 0 is connected here, so no change. So it retains with the same. So this is 0 means the Q0 bar is 1. 1 means toggle. So 1 here, in the next level it will toggle. So it was 0, 1, it will be 0 now. So whenever it is 0 in this, in the next upcoming stage it will be toggling. So here since it is 1, bar is 0, so no change. Here it will toggle. Sorry, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when we know what is Q0, what is Q1, we need to compute for Q2. Q2, Q0 bar and Q1 bar, right? When both were 1 1, it was working. Now when both are 0 0, so the complementary will be 1 1, so it will enable. So here 1 1, 1 0, 0 1. So all these AND gate was disabled. When both are 0 0, now the AND gate is enabled now. So till here it was same state, so 1 1 1. So after this 0 0, the next state it will be toggling, so I'll be getting 0 here. So the last state I'll be having 0. Again it retains 0 0 0 until we get 0 0 again, the last two. So it retains with that. Is that clear? How you can convert synchronous down counter? Any doubts in this? Respond, no? Any doubts? Anybody have not understood anything? Yes? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm audible but no doubts. Fine. So now up-down counter, how can I do it? Similarly, the way how I discussed in the previous, the synchronous counter, I can have two AND gates here and an OR gate. It will decide what input to be connected here. So in that way, I can able to make this as an up counter. I'll just erase this. I think it would be tough to write all 3 stages. I'll try to write it. Okay, fine. So this is how we write it. So, and we know the clock is simultaneously connected for all. Oh, sorry, here I made a mistake. So what is the change in this now? So the Q0 output should be connected as an input for the next stage when it is up counter. So similar way, like I'll be having an enable here. So up down. So I'll have an inverter. Whenever this bit is high, it will enable the first AND gates. So this AND gate and this AND gate will be enabled. Whenever this bit is low, it enables the below AND gates. So this 3, 4 will be enabled. So what is the additional thing we require now? This stage is fine. So Q0 will be driving as an input for this JK, or Q0 bar will be driving as an input for this JK. But here it's not just Q1. We need Q0 and Q1, right? So we need one more to be connected there. So again here we need one more to be connected. So this is how you can able to make it. So the output of the previous stage should be connected as an input along with the present input. So only when both of this are 0, 0, it will enable this. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this work like up-down counter of the synchronous, up-down synchronous counter. So by default it works like this. So suppose if you want any different count, you cannot work like this. You have to use the synthesis table using the excitation table of the JK flip-flop. You have to design that. Sorry. Yeah. These things like a counter and oh, already it's time. Yeah, last one topic I just need to tell, that is about a switch. Suppose I have an 2 voltage lines. This is for A and this is for B. Otherwise, let me write it here, A and B. So I have a switch. Suppose if this switch is connected to A. So this switch, in the sense it is of VCC, some high volts. If it is connected to A, I'll be getting high voltage across A. So high voltage. If this is disconnected, then I'll be getting low voltage. So theoretically, when we are working, this is what we are expecting. But this switch is a normal switch, not a normal switch. It is a bouncing switch. As soon as I connect, it will not be connected and we are going to get it high. So when I try to connect, there will be a bouncing effect in the switch. So this is what theoretically we are expecting. But practically what happens is it will be high. Then because of the bouncing effect, it will be low. It will be high. It keeps changing its states for certain time. After reaching that certain time, then it stays back in high. Even if I make it low, it doesn't make it low in one shot like this 0. So it will be bouncing again, and then so it will be settled down with that. That is how it is working. Either you give it like for an A or for a B, because the effect of the switch is like a bouncing. There is a bouncing effect in the switch. As soon as I make this on or as soon as I make this off, it will not be getting the expected output. Like as soon as I make it on, it is high. As soon as I make it off, it is low. There will be a bouncing effect in the switch, and then after certain period of time, then it will settle back in high. Again, when I make it low, there will be a bouncing again, then it will settle back. So this bouncing, it depends on the switch, what is the things, how many times it bounces. Here approximately I've just written, this is how it works. Is this clear? What
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
bouncing effect? So now, because of this effect, our output has been altered here so much. So we cannot assume whether this is high here or low here, because the same thing happens in both the cases. So we cannot assume this. So how we can rectify this bouncing effect of the switch? This can be rectified with an SR flip-flop. So you know what is an SR flip-flop, right? SR flip-flop, when 0 0 it is 0, like no change, 0 1 reset, 1 0 set. So using that SR flip-flop, we can able to rectify the bouncing effect of the switch. So we'll have an additional circuitry here. The connecting of the resistors here is to just restrict the flow of current. That's it. So now what will happen if I connect A with this, the switch connected to A, what will happen now? Suppose if this content is 1, as soon as I connect, this was 1, right? This is A. Now my B is not connected to the power supply, so my B is 0. So if this is my B, so if this is my B, it is 0. So it is 0 here, A is 1 here. So what is the output? It is set, right? Since there is no place below, I'm just writing above here. So my Q will be high. How long it is high? So in this instance of time 1 0, it was high. So here it is 0 0, 0 0, no change, so it retains high. So 1 0 high, 0 0 high, 1 0 high. So till here it will be high. Got it? Here also, if I just look into this bouncing effect, 0 0 here, what will happen here? No change. It will continue with a 0 only. Sorry, high only. Because this bouncing effect is because of the switch connected to 1 or 0. There is no idea if this is the content. So we'll be having high only till here. So again here it continues. Suppose let me write bouncing effect for A only for high input and bouncing effect for B when it is low input, suppose. So when it becomes a high, I would have erased this. So something like this. I think again 1 0, there will not be any change. I would have changed this. So we'll just assume the switch has been connected for A for the time being. So this was the output across A, and now let me connect my B. So only when you connect it to B, only then you can get the bouncing effect across that. Okay, so this was A. Now I connect my switch to B. So with that I will be having a bouncing effect across B as well. So suppose if my output is here, it was low, and then I will change my output as high. I would have written bouncing here. Suppose I have a bouncing effect here. So when I just make this high, and let it be something like this. So this was my B and this was my A. So I have a bouncing when I just make this on, and here also I have a bouncing when I just make this on. Suppose what will happen with this case? So our output is 0 and 1. It was set here. 0 0 no change, so it retains here. So 0 1 no change. So at this particular instance of time, both are 1 1. It will become forbidden. I would have not written 1 1 here because it violates the rules here. Let this B be 0 only for some more time. Once it becomes, so let it be 0. Then I will make this high, and then this toggling effect, like switching effect. I think this would be better. So 1 0 high only. So till here, so it was 0 0. It retains with the same state. So once it gets that bouncing effect of 1 0, so it was reset. So since it was 0 0, stay with the reset only. So 1 0 again with 0 0. Sorry, reset. So the meaning here is very simple. See, even if you have a bouncing effect, when you connect with an SR flip-flop, you can able to overcome that bouncing effect. So there will not be any effect on the output. That's the idea. But if you have an invalid conditions of the input for your S and R, then this system won't work, okay? Because a switch can be connected at a time either to A or to B. Cannot be connected for both of this. That's what the mistake I made it here. So I just overlap here. So when it was connected to A, it was high. When it's been connected to B, so B can be high. After toggling effect, so it will be high. So this also you can avoid. As soon as I taken from A, I'll be connecting to B. So you can just make it high in this time instance only, this small period. So you could just do it from here only, okay, this bouncing effect. I think then it would be right. Is this clear? The debouncing circuit?
Yes, ma'am.